it diminishes the product. We're willing to pay a little bit extra to keep it pure about what our companies are. We don't want to distort the product. So what I was told is you can't do that. First of all, I was told the guy doesn't know anything about maple syrup. How could he run an event? I was told that we tried that food festival thing. It didn't work. And I was told you couldn't ask people to pay real money to promote their businesses. And they were absolutely right. If that's what you believe, you can't do it. But if you're naive or optimistic, or if you have a marketing background and you understand value propositions, that if you offer something of value to people and there's a market for it, they will do it. Well, the Taste Trail worked so well that the arts people said, hey, what about us? How do we get in on the action? I don't know if you know about artists. They don't even spend $100 on advertising. Okay? They don't. And it's because they don't make a lot of money. It's not necessarily because they're cheap, but they don't make a lot of money. They saw we had $2.2 million in media value in the first year of the Taste Trail, because we had a product. People could talk about it. They could get it. They could tour it. Wayfinding signage, photos in the newspaper, all that stuff. The arts guy said, we want that too. In fact, for fun, some of our dirt it was originally themed as a culture trail. The culture people were primarily not on the artist entrepreneurs, but the bureaucrats and the municipalities owning buildings. There was a coup. The artists kicked the cultural people off the table and said, you guys are too slow. You're not committing. We're done. And they launched the Arts Trail. And they repeated, they robbed and duplicated R&D, the Taste Trail, modified it, and cut checks for $1,500 each for artists. Both those products are like, I don't know if they're maxed out, but they're very strong. They've grown. And now they're kind of a single product because it's one entity. I said the biggest miracle in Prince Edward County is that we were able to collaborate with ourselves. So the Taste the County, which is our DMO, which manages both products, it took them a year of negotiating, but they got the Taste Trail and the Arts Trail to decide to be in one brochure, save some money, print more promotion, and guess what? It's the same market. People that want to dine and wine, and they want to buy art and experience all that. So I'm proud to say that we were able to collaborate with ourselves for two different things, and that was no mean feat. So it's not always easy. I think I'm going to keep going. So there's some examples of product development. Tangible, I get it, I can see it, I can touch it, I can experience it, and I can relive the experience, whether I'm reading about it, seeing it on YouTube, or what have you. Give people something to buy, attach some kind of experience to it, ideally an emotion or a taste sensation, and you're good to go. As I mentioned, my background is marketing, and primarily promotional marketing, where you have to turn nickels into dollars, which means leverage. How do you lever things? How do you make something out of nothing? I'm not going to get into too much of this. Build it and they will come. Yes, I think if you do it right, and if you're researched, most of my market research is my gut and just my own, and I'm able to do that. Most entrepreneurs will tell you that focus groups are a waste of time. I'm not saying they aren't. But not everybody has insight or gut. So what we did is we built things that we felt we had that the marketplace wanted. And I just gave you some examples of that. Give the media something to talk about. Again, I just gave you a bunch of examples. I'm sure you have many oodles of them, including, I don't know if you've got young people that's doing organic or third generation classic family farms doing things that are interesting. Those are stories. The media wants to know, and the people in the city are dying for real, authentic, people with dirt under their fingernails, whatever it is. Tell them and get other people to tell your story for you. When we do the taste event in Maple, well, we don't hide it. We don't pretend that we're going to write a block ad in a newspaper. We put it on an event. We put on a maple event, a mini maple syrup event, and we bring the media from Toronto and Ottawa and Montreal. They will come regionally. I'll talk a little bit about some of the other things we do. And it's experiential. So the media event is representative of what it is you're going to promote. And that way there's no guesswork. Everybody knows what we're talking about. And it's clear as clear can be. Boom, mini event. Great, I get it. I'm going to write about it. I'm going to promote it. For the Taste of It, for many years, we had judging. We had contests, best meal, best drink, etc., etc. Well, guess who the judges were? They were the media. Hello, and they came for free, or we put them up overnight. Well, guess what they wrote about in their various mediums? They wrote about our events and how wonderful it was, and their judging and the results, and yada, yada, yada. Collaboration, cooperate, I don't know what you want to call it, cajole. It's all good. Third party. Nobody tells your story better than somebody else who's an authority and who has reach. Big, 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 big. I just mentioned animate it, make it real, court the media. So my favorite word, or another nugget in the magic formula, and I hope I'm not overwhelming you with all this wonderful magic, but another nugget, third party. Somebody else to tell your story with authority and audience. That's what you want. It's the biggest piece of magic that I know about. It's unbelievable. It can work against you if you don't use it right either. So you got to manage the media. Data mining. We're not there yet. And be social. So the world has changed. When I started this job, there was no Facebook, there was no Twitter, there was no YouTube, there was no blogging. Sort of. We dipped our toe and didn't understand blogging first time go around. Be your own media. Be your own third-party media. That's what I recommend. So the model that I'm working on right now is we've developed something that's not quite there yet, that's a hybrid between People Magazine and CNN. Be your own media. Tell your own news stories and get it out there. I'll sort of show you a quick glimpse. We've launched something called Horn Trip Magazine. Horn Trip is a local word, and basically it means road trip, local road trip, to see and do different things. So that's a great tourism word, and we're selling a Prince Edward County experience. So 3 to 5 days a week, we publish a new piece of editorial. We not only publish a new piece of editorial on a blog, it's a blog platform, we promote it, we share it on Facebook. We've got 3,000 fans on our Prince Edward County Facebook page. We tweet about it. Guess what? We get local writers to write about it and photographers, and guess what's in their contract? You must Facebook and tweet and blog about the job you just did. They're third-party authorities. We have relationships with other blogs and other experts. They pick up our story and they get it out there. So we own the media. It's technically not third party, and we're not really trying to trick anybody, but it's another form of quasi-third party. But we own that media, we control it, and we get the messages out. And there's a Twitter feed of new messages that are coming up. I can't see the Facebook feed right now. So own your own media. That to me is almost the pinnacle of when you know you're really cooking with gas. The other part of that, we're not there yet, mine data. I'm sure you guys aren't doing it. We're not doing it. So if you can collaborate and you can have promotion vehicles, who's coming to your community? Like Jane Smith, who's coming to your community. Do you have their email address? Do you know how much money they make? Do you know where they live? Do you know what they like to do? Do you know how to match that with what your offerings are? Do you know that if they like to cross-country ski, and if you have sporadic winter here and you get a 1-foot dump, can you send an e-blast out via constant contact to say, oh, 500, 2,000 people that I have on my database that says I like to snowshoe and cross-country ski? Come on up this weekend. B&Bs are open, restaurants are open, snowmobile trails are open, whatever it is. I don't think you're doing that. We're not doing that. It's not that hard to do. The hard part is to build the infrastructure, which is cheap. The hard part of the infrastructure is to collaborate, collect information. You can survey customers later. But if you don't have their email address, you don't know who they are, and it takes time, but to promote it and to market it is cheap. So don't spend money on advertising. Build your database, your communal database. Sub-segment it and send e-blasts out, but target it, not just generic stuff, not monthly, here's all the things going on. Sell them stuff. I just, market this way. Please, you'll save so much energy and get so much more return on your investment. None of us are really doing this other than the big sophisticated groups and organizations. And if you think of yourself as a single entity and a single community, I can't tell you the power that I believe that's going to return to communities once they figure out how to do that. We're not there either. I think having, though, a platform like a blog, it's integrated with Facebook,